Good morning and welcome back to Keto Living with Dale and Judith. Today's video is my recent keto food prep. Foods I prep for myself. Just like always, I need to restock coffee. I like to brew fresh beans, but any store-bought ground coffee or instant coffee, as long as it doesn't have sugar in it, is fine. I will add half a cup of full-fat coconut milk, which is 3 grams of net carbs, and half a teaspoon of liquid stevia to the coffee. That's my breakfast every morning. And during these cold winter months, I've been having another coffee for a morning snack. Dale's liver transplant is coming up soon, next month. So I've been juggling a lot, prepping our food, keeping us healthy, organizing the house, because Dale's not going to be able to walk upstairs, so I've had to convert the living room into a recovery bedroom, and it's been a huge project. I've been working on it for 3 months. I've been finding time to work in the garden, finding time to exercise, and of course, food ordering and taking care of Dale as he's been recovering for the different procedures to prevent his cancer from spreading while we're waiting for the surgery. I've been juggling a lot, but I wanted to show you my food prep, so I filmed a little bit all throughout the week to be able to show you. I want to make more broth. This is what I want to bring to the hospital for the 10 days. Having broth every day really helps my arthritis, and during these cold winter months, I've been having 4 cups a day. But the thought of bringing 40 cups of broth to the hospital, that's just not going to work. I'm staying at a family cancer housing center there on campus, but still. So I'm going to make new broth, and then I'm going to reduce it. I'm going to reduce the 4 cups of broth down to 1 cup of broth. So let's go ahead and get the broth started. I really prefer to use really high quality meat for broth, but right now it's just not in the budget. I'm using any leftover bones I saved and some chicken legs, and it's all from Walmart. The chicken feet that I had been using, I'm all out of those. But legs are another good option. They have a lot of cartilage in them, and that breaks down, and it makes that gel in the broth, and that's really good for arthritis. So 4 cups of broth is going to become 1 cup of broth, and it's going to be 1.1 grams of net carbs. This broth, it's just the chicken and the bones. I didn't add any vegetables, vinegar, salt, pepper. It's just chicken. So Dale's hospital stay at a minimum is going to be 7 to 10 days. So I'm trying to prep 10 days worth of food. And I've been thinking about my vegetables. And I had mentioned in a previous video about buying avocados while I'm there. That'll be my plan if the stay is longer than 10 days. But for now, I have freezer full of homegrown vegetables, already roasted and already portioned into individual serving sizes. So I'm going to go ahead and mix those with the broth to make some soups. That's what I've been doing lately anyway. So I plan to take 2 of each different vegetables. And I noticed I'm out of squash, already roasted squash. So today, let's go ahead and roast 2 big pans of squash in the oven, and we're going to roast them with bacon grease. I already have those pre-measured in cubes and ready to go. So 1 gallon of squash makes 8 servings. And each serving is 5 grams of net carbs. So I've added 8 tablespoons of bacon grease to each pan. I'm cooking it at 400 degrees for an hour and a half. Two big pans mean it's 16 servings. Of course, normally I'd let it cool and then just put it into baggies, but I'm going to go ahead and blend it since I know I'm going to make it into soup. I'm going to use my Vitamix, but be careful. Wait and let it cool a little bit, because if you blend hot liquids, they'll pop the lid from the pressure. So be careful. Now it's time to mix the reduced broth and the already cooked vegetables to make this soup to bring to the hospital. I'm going to use the Vitamix again, and I've already bought some disposable paper cups with lids, and I'm going to freeze them, and they'll be ready to bring with me. Of course, we're going to use our recently roasted squash. So I'm bringing 10 servings. 2 servings of eggplant soup, 2 servings of green bean soup, 2 servings of green pepper soup, 2 servings of red pepper soup, and 2 servings of squash soup. And all of these are 5 grams of net carbs, except for the green beans. I think that's 4.6 grams. And I'm going to blend it with the 1 cup of reduced bone broth, which is 1.1 grams of net carbs. So most of these are going to be 6.1 grams of net carbs. And 1 serving had to fit into 2 containers. I already have a video showing how I roast the eggplant. It's really simple, not complicated at all. Of course, I have a video showing how I roast my green peppers. Again, they're from the garden. All these vegetables are grown from the garden. That's the reason I picked these specific vegetables, because I already have them. And I have a video on how I pressure canned my green beans. And these are from the garden, but store-bought canned green beans, fresh, frozen, all those are fine. Red peppers, I have a video for that too. Any food that you see in this video, any recipe, I already have videos for all of those recipes, and you can always find those video links in the description. I recently roasted more red peppers, and I went ahead and blended them up, since during the winter I've been putting them into soups. Need to mix up a week's worth of my yogurt. I typically make about 6-quart jars at a time, but I only mix up a week's worth at a time, where I add the liquid stevia and the chia seeds. I don't want to mix too much up in advance because I'm afraid that the chia seeds will spoil. 1/2 a cup of the keto coconut milk yogurt is 3.1 grams of net carbs. And 1 tablespoon of chia seeds. I add those to help it thicken. And the chia seeds act as a prebiotic for the probiotics because the yogurt has good bacteria in it. And the chia seeds feed that good bacteria. They digest it and other fibers, and they release chemicals into our bodies. And they help our bodies, and they actually communicate with our brain. That's why they're really good for our gut health. The chia seeds is 0.8 grams of net carbs, making the yogurt 3.9 grams of net carbs. Every day with my yogurt, I have 1 ounce of berries or 2 tablespoons of either lemon juice or lime juice. And the blackberries we pureed are still in the super cubes frozen. So need to pop those out and get them into the freezer. Now it's time to make more yogurt. I'm using the Instant Pot. First, we need to warm up the coconut milk to kill any bad bacteria. The coconut milk yogurt won't get thick like traditional cow's milk yogurt, so I do add some beef gelatin now after it's heated while it's hot to help it to dissolve. Now it needs to cool below 115 degrees before I add either yogurt starter or probiotics. If I add it now while it's hot, it'll kill them. It'll kill the good bacteria. Now we set it at 114 degrees and leave it. I like to ferment it 24 hours. In my recent meal prep video, I explained that I'm bringing pork patties to the hospital because I will have a small kitchenette. I'll have a little fridge. It's going to be bigger than a college dorm fridge. Maybe a toaster oven, for sure a microwave, and a coffee maker. So I've discovered that the ground pork patties, I can microwave them on a paper plate with another paper plate like a lid for 3 to 4 minutes, and they're perfect. Now, I really don't like using the microwave, but in this situation, this is what it's going to work for me. So I think I have enough patties made, but I went ahead and bought more pork, and I'm going to go ahead and make some more 4-ounce patties. I was looking in the freezer and I noticed that I still have shrimp. So let's go ahead and portion those out into baggies of 1 pound each. And last prep is I still have some bone broth in the molds in the freezer. And I need to go ahead and get those into baggies. I love my Super Cube silicone molds. I have a variety of sizes and I use them all the time. I saw them on a YouTube channel and I put off buying them. But I'm so glad I finally purchased them because I use them so much. And that's my keto food prep for this week. I will be making a video showing how I plan a week's worth of meals for myself. Remember, I eat very simply, mostly meat and vegetables, coffee and keto yogurt. I eat very few keto baked products. Dale and I eat very differently, so find what works for you. Thank you for visiting Keto Living with Dale and Judith. See you later. Bye-bye.